jumping right in because I know you missed us. You know you've missed us. Okay, we got a hot one for you niggas out here. Blue Tigers Fit at BlueTigersFitty.com. Internet's what it do. It's your man Teek back again. Another week, another time to fuck things up. This is exactly what we're doing this evening. I've got some special guests, but before I announce these wonderful special guests that have come to join it here and kick it with us in Studio One, Scumbag Sherm. What up, though?
What up, though?
How you living, man?
Scumbag Sherm. Can't complain.
How's life treating you, man? Now it's fall now.
I know it's hoodie season.
It's hoodie season.
Trying to live the scumbag lifestyle.
The hoes got to come with a little bit more clothing this season.
Nah, I don't know. Wait. Say that again. One more time.
Your hoes have to come with a little bit more clothing now. There's skimpy clothing wear in the summertime.
It's boots.
Nah, it's boots.
Sure.
It's peacoats.
For sure. We talk.
It's fucking high waist jeans. And it's sweaters.
Hold on, high waist jeans.
I mean, what do you have your hoes out here? And I don't know.
You know what? I don't know. I ain't gonna speak on women's wardrobe. All I know is high waist jeans. I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's the look I'm looking for.
What do you prefer them under the peacoat to have?
What you think, Fresh?
Boot cuts?
Let me think on it.
Regular?
Let me dawn on it.
Slim fit?
I'm trying to get my wardrobe right. I can't worry about their wardrobe.
Okay, I hear you. It's hoodie season, man, all year, bro.
That's all I need.
It's joggers. It's Tony Soprano style, all fall.
You right.
All fall, all winter.
You right.
Our wardrobe hasn't changed.
I ain't gonna lie. I was looking for some joggers this weekend, too. I ain't even find
How'd that work out for you?
I ain't getting none, bro. Ain't getting none.
Yeah, this is workout Sherm over here, man. He's been in the gym. No more muffin top. You know what I'm saying?
More muffin top.
No more bell pepper hips for Sherm. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard of that term.
Yeah, bell pepper hips.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Never heard of it. I've heard bell pepper nose.
Oh yeah, hips, nigga.
Nah,
you know?
Nah, I don't know about that. But I'm working on it, Teek.
You're working on it, man. It's good, man. I'm working on just trying to maintain. It's maintaining season.
That's all.
You know how niggas be up for the year and they a little down. You trying to come up again, and you just kind of maintaining. That's exactly what I'm doing. Is maintaining. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's maintaining season for your boy BTF.
I ain't mad at it, bro.
Ain't mad at it, man.
It's that time of year.
These wonderful guests that I brought down to Studio One, you guys got to understand, internets. We only put on dope people, and we only put on people that we fucks with, and we want to allow you into your world to Google, to YouTube, to represent, to find out like who in the hell is this, who in the hell is that, why did these guys bring them on the show? Because you guys fuck with us, and this is just the simplest, plainest answer I can give you guys. And we're going to break down names. We're going to break down origins. We're going to break down background stories. It's going to get crazy. We're going to hear everything in the world, and it's going to relate, I promise to something, someone, an auntie, a cousin, an uncle, or somebody, a neighbor. Somebody in your neighborhood. I don't care if you're from fucking Mesa, Arizona, or bumfuck Idaho.
Shout out to Mesa and bumfuck.
Mesa is in Arizona, right?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. You know, here's my thing. I've got an internet. It's gonna make sure. I want you to clap it up, man. We've got SupaEmcee and Native Child Proud in the building. Studio One. Clap it up. What up?
Hey. Yo.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I got KK in the studio.
Oh man.
Ken and Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
They sound like white people's name, but I promise you they're niggas.
Welcome, man.
Hey, you know what? We'd get invited to some shit, and they would be mad as fuck.
Mad as hell.
Right.
Ken Kelly, this is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
This is we don't know him, but it sounds safe. Get there, and you'd be like, there goes.
They'd be like, jiggle that.
Yeah, they pull my resume, you know. They pull my resume, and they think they pretty safe.
Hey, because they going to be like, look at this nigga, and then she black and Native American. It's going to be like really proud. They're going to be like, oh, shit.
There it
like,
is.
You owe us, motherfucker, more than a plate.
These two came for trouble right here.
More than a plate.
From trouble, man. And internet, just so you know, Kent SupaEmcee, aka SupaEmcee, Detroit legend, work with people under the realm of, knows Dilla, knew Dilla, didn't work with Dilla.
Yeah.
Other than the project. Fucks with Proof, RIP Proof, his man's. And, Native Child, shout out to Joel Fluent Green. We actually got an opportunity this summer to go see Kelly do her thing on stage. I swear to you guys, and we'll get into this, she had me crying in the first 10 minutes.
Yo, T, she do that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I wasn't ready.
Oh,
Okay.
There we go.
So shout out to Joel and his hospitality. I'm sitting there and he's like, yo, Teek, whatever you want. Whatever you want. You know, I'm like the fucking third person in this bitch. Just like two big bitches behind me. You know what I'm saying? They definitely in here getting the wing special first. I get to the seat. I'm right up front. You know, DJ's playing, you know, Spotify, some shit's going on. I'm like, yeah, let me get double Hennessy and Coke. I'm just going to start it off just right. Get the double Hennessy and Coke. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, so two of the other judges show up, Greg, and I forget other chick's name that was there, so apologize. But she was there, start drinking, place starts filling up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, okay, this is it. I'm like, let me get another double Hennessy and Coke, you know? So this time I'm already on 7 double Hennessy and Coke.
whoa, you fly.
Easy. I'm good.
Fly.
I'm like, this is about to be amazing because if nothing else, if all this shit is whack, I'm going to have a great time.
Man,
Hey, listen, shout out to Joel because
We'll have him on, man, next week.
yeah,
But
'cause I wouldn't have had no time for his
shout out
ass.
to him, the double Hennessy and Coke.
woo.
Like, hold on, this nigga right? No.
This nigga right here, cut him off.
him
Right,
off.
right.
So I'm drinking, and I'm like, okay, this is about to be some real. Now, mind you, I haven't been to nor seen any type of poetry slam, and we'll get into exactly what that is. Internets, for those of you guys that don't know. I haven't seen anything like that since like Saul Williams circa like 2001,
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah, it was a throwback.
Shout out to the Lorenz
sure.
Tates and Nia Longs of the Love Jones of the world. I haven't seen no shit like that, right?
Right.
So I get up there, I got my girl there, I'm already in. I'm boogieing, I'm like, bet, I'm about to get this nacho plate next. And then they're like, yeah, you know, on some real shit, Joel, get his ass up there, and like, we're gonna bring, you know, Native Child Brown to the stage, and everybody snapping and shit. I'm like, oh, snaps is real. Like, shit's real. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I don't want to
Real
snap
shit.
because I don't know how long or whatever, but I'm gonna just chill.
All right.
And she gets up there and hits me with some shit where I'm like fucking mesmerized in the fact that again wasn't ready because I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't expect you to throw it on this stick. Wait a minute. Emotions were running high.
Yeah, it was a lot of power. I remember.
It's a lot of power.
It came out of nowhere. Like, damn, hold on.
Smacked
Yeah.
the fuck out of me from bam, hit me with the left hook. Down goes Frazier. Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly. What was the name of the poem that you spit?
Which
She don't remember.
I don't remember.
Was it Precipice?
Precipice? Oh, it's the domestic violence poem.
I think that's the one you hit me with.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready. It's the first thing with 6, 7 double Hennessy and Cokes in.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this and
Yeah.
the same eyes in my child. And I'm like,
Yeah. That,
can
I
we throw
call
up
my,
a 10? I'm going to throw up a 10 just for that. Threw up the 10. And that was that.
Yeah, I call
So-
my poems quiet storms because that's how they affect people.
So to the internet, talk about, if you can, if you must, Precipice and what that is. Because I know you're out there on YouTube, and I think it was Button Poetry
Button
that
Poetry.
had you up.
Yeah.
Check that out, internet. It's deep as hell. But I kind of want you to
Button Poetry,
explain,
shout out.
you know, shout out to Button
Yeah,
Poetry, you know what I'm saying?
shout out.
Get that clap up for that. But Precipice, I had to Google the word, and I had to make sure I heard it and shit. You know how you Google and you hit a little sound? I'm like, because I had to do that. Now I know it's Precipice, okay?
Shout out to DPS.
Shout out to DPS. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hold on.
I am
It
DPS.
looks like perceived I don't know what it is. It's Precipice.
Be taught.
Yeah, I can be taught. Climb wall, mountain, tall rock. Okay, I got it. I think I know. But I wanted to get it from you and your definition of that, you know, what you were thinking, you know, tell yourself about the internets, who you are, and then like that poem and how you came up with that and that. What is that?
So that particular piece I wrote as kind of a nod to my trauma and trying to work through my trauma as a survivor of domestic violence. And I wrote that because I tell a story when I'm doing my speeches on domestic violence about how my daughter saved my life. You know, she was 13 at the time. I was in a relationship with my youngest daughter's father, and I had gotten assaulted on my youngest daughter's birthday. And when I got released from the hospital, you know, my oldest daughter at the time, she was 13, she came to me, she was like, you know, Mom, I'm tired of watching, you know, bruises heal over bruises, and I'm going to go live with my dad unless you leave this man. And in that moment, you know, I made a choice, a conscious decision to either leave my abuser or you know, or have my daughter leave me. And I chose my daughter over her, which is a hard decision if anyone's ever been in a relationship like that. It's a hard decision. And when I say hard decision, you know, an abuser keeps, you know, victims under tight thumbs, you know, and to make that choice, you know, where my daughter was more important than this man, you know, and I wrote that kind of like about my journey, you know, from victim to survivor to healer. and about my fears that my daughters, because statistically, you know, they're more than likely to be in a situation where they might be victims, you know, and about my fears, you know, for that, you know, to happen to them.
Sure.
And like that's one of the and I've done that piece probably a couple hundred times now.
Yeah.
And even now, like when I do it, it still affects me, you know.
Sure.
And
how do you do that? Something so personal, right? Something so personal to you, and you know, for me, I would think that would be hard. One, to even compile that piece together, right? To now, whether I'm sure at one point you wrote it down
and cry like a baby.
And cry like a baby once you saw, you know, the piece written back, and then now to perform this in front of strangers. Right, because like I said, I was there under some totally different shit. I got hit with this, and I'm like, whoa! It was. I knew it was real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't from like third party or this perspectives of someone else. I'm like, whoa, this is a personal piece.
Well, I mean,
like, wow.
You titled it, and I like what you said, victim to survivor to healer. You performing, is that like the healing portion of it for you?
The healing portion, yep. So like I kind of travel all over the state doing activism work. And I've performed that piece. Like last year, I was at the Ford Field for the Courage House event. Got to perform that in front of in Ford Field. And shout out to Detroit Lions. Still a fan.
Boo. Go ahead, though.
You know, but I got to perform that in front of the Detroit Lions team. In front of Mary Ford was there. Martha Ford, I'm sorry, was there. And it was just like an amazing experience for me to. And they do this event every year, you know, and fundraise for Haven. And I got to perform it there. But I've been all over with that piece, you know, performing it because people want to hear it. They want to hear my story.
Sure.
But they also connect with the human side of domestic violence because people see like the stories on the news and don't see that this really affects people. There's human people behind this story.
Sure.
And so like I can give them a face and a voice, you know, and like kind of a path. Like you can survive. There is life after domestic violence, and that's the piece. That's the healing part, you know, that poem gives me every time I perform it.
Now the story sounds kind of deep. Is there anything beyond just the poetry portion to help with the healing? You know what I mean?
My husband.
This guy called Kent, aka
SupaEmcee. We had to do a lot of trauma talk when we first started dating because he had never really connected with somebody who was a survivor, and the fact that I'm still parenting with my abuser, you know, and it was really hard for him because he still struggles with, you know, the fact that my youngest daughter looks at her dad as a hero and she loves her dad, and he's all right dad, you know, but he was just like a shitty ass, you know, person to me.
Sure. And
he struggles with that, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, and my daughter looks at him as her dad, her second dad, and she loves, and I was like, you know, it's okay for someone, I mean, it's possible for someone to exist as a good father, but also exist as an animal, you know, you know, so
here's what I want to ask, because talking as a, you know, divorced parent, right, a co-parenting situation. I've been married for 13 years and then divorced for 4 and in a relationship with someone else, and been able to find someone that's able to kind of, you know, three children, right, 14, 4, and a 6-year-old, and kind of been able to accept my kids into that. Kent, man, Supa, I want to talk to you, man, a little bit about the male perspective, and, you know, because for me personally, my situation is flipped. So I found someone that's willing to accept that. You know, my ex-wife is not, you know, doing her thing, whatever. Right. Co-parent, 50-50, you know what I'm saying, custody. I want you to talk about a little bit like your psyche going into this, you know, meeting Kelly and kind of getting into this relationship and having these talks, like where most men, quote unquote men, would have been like, fuck this, I'm out. She's crazy. I ain't trying to get into this. I'm going to do what I got to do and then bounce. Talk about like your psyche, man, and staying with that and having that, those conversations, man, this type of relationship.
I mean, you know, for me to, you know, learn certain personal things about my wife, you know, as she disclosed, which, you know, I mean, we all damaged goods, you know, so how can I look at, you know, pieces missing from her and totally judge her when I got pieces broken missing from me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's you know, that's the ground line, you know. And then like, you know, when I was dating my wife, like I didn't just see her one day and was like, hey, baby. And then, you know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just was seen around the city running around. Like when I met my wife, I met her at the old Miami. They used to have the Elements down there. Piper Carter and Sakari used to host the open mic down there.
Sure.
So we used to be down there just cutting up. You know what I'm saying? Every week. So I met my wife. She was on stage. You know, so I think I just got off stage freestyling, lit the room up, right?
Yeah.
And then they called her up, and then she did this poem called 1991, where she talks about. I might make her do it, but I don't know. But she does this poem, right? It's called 1991. She gives a reference to how she liked the Lions and how her and her father, that was the time that they got together, you know, whatever, to focus, and just different like things in her life that is so like significant with this year of 1991 and her favorite team, and how all that all collides and meshes up with her. It was sweet as fuck.
You didn't know nothing about the Chicago Bulls, 1991, Jordan won his first championship? Is that somewhere in the poem versus like the Lions?
I don't watch football. I watch basketball.
I'm just trying to say, man.
91 is the only Lions year you can't rep. Okay.
Jordan
6. Thank you.
Okay. Jordan 6. I mean, something along the line.
Sanders had a good year that year.
That was all B. Sanders.
Those guys are 5.5 hours away. Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
You know,
Not a damn thing.
so you know, I met her, and then you know, like once we got to talking, like we didn't date. I didn't go on a date with her for like a whole year.
Year and a
like
half.
I didn't
Get it right.
Get it right.
Yeah. yeah. And nigga over here holding his breath. And shit. Anyway, you know, but like as I, you know, I would talk to her and stuff, and I would, you know, try to get to see her and stuff, and she wouldn't allow me to see her. So in my head, I just be like, "Yo, this motherfucker got a nigga or something." You know what I'm saying? She got a couple niggas. You know? Like, quit playing. Oh, I can't see you no time. You're that busy. Like this how she used to play me, dog. This shit was funny as fuck. And you know, this will have a motherfucker testing they clout, and you know it'll have you like, man, wait
right? Yeah, she got you questioning yourself.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I know I ain't fell off.
Shit, are you serious? What? Nigga? Fuck, what you mean?
Yeah.
Fuck you mean?
Yeah.
So,
fuck you mean?
Fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? Fuck you mean? You can't hang out. Oh, you busy every day.
Yeah, you busy.
Not every day. Just
every day.
Just
Hey,
Thursday through Monday, I was busy.
Hey, nah, check it out. Listen, listen, dog. I probably would get a phone call like Monday, and then I probably would get like a Wednesday phone call, and then like a Thursday afternoon phone call. But it would be while she was on the way home, so the phone call would be really short.
Really short.
Exactly.
I'm pulling up right
We know
now.
them tricks.
Yeah, it'd be like, she would probably get in the car and drive halfway home, and then call me. Not when she got in the car and was driving home.
Not walking. To
Nah,
the car,
yeah. So you know, I'd be like, damn. Well, you know, can we hang out? Well, no, I'm gonna be with my babies all weekend and da-da-da. I'm like, damn, don't they stay with you? You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Shade my way, like
Nah.
a whole forest.
But it was like you was trying to punk me, though. You know what I'm saying?
You married me, so I mean, you got through, right? Eventually.
I mean,
Eventually.
Jesus.
They said the chase was worth it.
Rome
More than worth
Rome
it.
wasn't built today.
the chase, that's what got me. I was really intrigued by that because motherfucker, I'm me.
Yeah.
Super MC get pussy.
Motherfucker, I'm me.
Super MC get women.
Oh,
Super MC got them lined up. Super MC got hoes.
Can we
Super MC is the man.
Now, if he put that on the sketch on his next album,
No, hey, you right. You see what I said?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, bro. Yo, Sherm.
Super
Yo,
MC wasn't getting this pussy.
she
That's
was-
what the problem was.
She a Scorpio, dog. I do not fuck with her. All right,
that's real.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's just so we've been blessed to have maybe like one property over here.
Yeah.
So, nigga,
Don't
I
rock
don't fuck with her. I don't play with her like that. Man, listen, I just, before I get into this story, but
you good.
she kicked me out, right?
Okay.
Kicked me out where we at, right?
Okay.
Made me go stay at the other house,
Okay.
right? And then got mad because I was at the other house, then made me come home, and then had took my toothbrush and ran it through a bunch of shit. Took my toothbrush and ran it through an obstacle course, put the bitch back, and just had that bitch tilted where I couldn't see the obstacle course shit on the toothbrush, right?
man.
So you hit it with the cold.
No, listen, Teek, dog.
He telling all my
Listen,
secrets.
yo, I hit the light and grabbed that bitch and was like, ugh, what the fuck? Oh, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's low. That's real.
Yo,
low.
I don't fuck with her.
I'm more
killer in
I'm more passive aggressive. He's more aggressive. I'm more passive aggressive. So you know, like take like the strings out of tampons and mix them into spaghetti. You know, kind of like he don't. If I'm mad at him, he don't touch none of the food.
I don't eat shit. I don't drink shit.
He wait till I go to sleep first.
Yeah,
you know.
What is that? Is that the Native American part? Is that part of it?
I don't know, man. That's like
Scorpio in me. That's
Scorpio.
well, you understand. I was in a relationship 5 years with a guy who used to beat up on me, so I had to get him back.
Let me ask you: East side, Kelly, or West side?
I'm West side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kent?
Highland Park.
HP.
Yeah, all day.
All day.
And for the internets that don't know, that's like that middle divider line.
Hard
Yeah, see, but see, though, what they don't know about Highland Park is like you a West Side, East Side nigga, or East Side, West Side nigga.
Yes. That's real shit.
It is.
It's that Woodward, where white folks know Woodward is safe. Like, we'll travel Woodward. And they don't know if they make a left turn, it might be a wrong move, or they make a right turn, it might be a wrong move, depending on which way you're on Woodward.
Stay on Woodward.
Highland Park is like Border Town and Mad Max and shit. Welcome to Border Town.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
The movie The American Werewolf in London, where they tell you to stay on the path. That's Woodward right there. That's right there. Stay on the path. Don't get off the path.
But I'm like me and her in dealing with that situation where we was just like, you know, she's playing me for a whole fucking year, you know, but
year and a half.
Yeah. See, okay, you keep rubbing
that timeline.
All right, so
get it right.
So, you know, we finally got to, you know, be around each other, and it was permitted for me to, you know, be around her kids. And you know, be around her family, and I get to see, you know, how she relates to her family, how they relate to her, and then how people are starting to relate to me being around her. So at first, I didn't get why motherfuckers, you know, kept looking at me like a shiesty motherfucker. You know
Right.
But I get it. Y'all didn't know me. Y'all don't, you know nothing about me. But her uncle did, because this motherfucker's like, yo, he's like, I'm telling you, like J. Edgar Hoover.
Former intelligence.
Like, yo, he the fucking
papers on you,
he the fucking spook that sat by the door for real, my nigga.
Wow.
Like for real. Like when I say that shit, like for real, T.
Oh my god.
Like Sherm, for real. Like a nigga say your street name and he'll find out your government name or your granddaddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. That means he found you and your mama, daddy, and now he got your granddad. And you know that.
Never mind the nigga, man. I went to a Cadillac dealership about 4 years ago, right? This nigga name was Pete Magic. R.I.P. Pete Magic. Because apparently this white man is dead now, right? I got my Cadillac and got it out, right? Pete Magic's ass, you know, you got to run your social, run your information and shit like that, right? And you know, the social security number, like 3 digits means something, your 2 middle ones mean like stay where you born, and your last, you know, 3, 4 means something else. He was like, blah, 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 blah. That's down there by Conyers and da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? He's like, your social. That's where they distribute it out, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, Pete, you're fucking freaking me out. But yeah, here's what it is, and here's the proof to know this is where I'm at, right? And it just got so funny. He was just one of those guys that would hit you with, like, he was one of them salesmen that hit you with the trivia, you know, like, yeah, while we running this, name, you know, all the teams in the NBA that start with the letter A or some shit like that, right? It's like, the fuck? I'm just trying to get my car. I'm like, pay about $225, Pete Magic, get the fuck out of here. And we always laugh. It just made me remind me of some shit. Like, Pete Magic would be that guy to be like, yeah, leave you a voicemail and be like, hey, just Pete Magic calling, checking up with you. Be careful, because you might fall down into some steps here in about 10 seconds. All right, take care. You'd be like, oh, shit. You know?
Yo, man,
that had nothing to do with nothing, but it just
but I feel you with the whole wisdom thing. That's how he, you know, he was like, yo, I'm like, yo, you know, all this crazy shit. But, you know, just to be around her and how the family, you know, was like really skeptical about me. But I had to realize that she's been through a lot of shit. So, you know, any family would be like, well, okay, who's the new nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And really have the eye on the new nigga, because, you know, even with her uncle being who he was, you know, was able to find out who I was and then distribute the information through the family to the point where, oh, he's all right, nigga. He good. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they started to do, you know, social media you know,
background checks,
all
and
type
all
of
that.
shit.
Yeah,
But they was going through it, man.
They paid the $29.99
They did.
to mail
They
your shit
did.
off. And
Yeah.
get it
They
back
did
from
that
the
shit.
bottom.
You
I
know?
already knew his medical history.
Like
you know.
medical, like yo,
How many
what the
times
fuck?
he been tested?
He's type A negative.
Yo,
Like, damn.
and that was another thing because she had you know was working with the system on that type of situation.
Yeah, no
So,
HIPAA laws were violated.
Yeah.
You know, no HIPAA laws violated.
The Blue
But
Tigers
I'm-
Fit
but-
doesn't condone
but
any
what I'm-
of.
What I'm saying is, and it was like, you know, shit. It wasn't just like a nigga could kick a verse one night at the club and light the building up and then go home and get it. Like nigga, no, that shit wasn't the impressive key. You feel me?
Right.
Like shit, I would have if that was the case, nigga. Dig these bars, you feel me? But you know what I'm saying?
Blow
But,
your mind with this.
yeah, I'm
one.
about to
Where would I be
fuck
without
your
you?
head
Yeah.
over with these.
With this
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm about to throw Pablo Neruda phrases in it and shit and all that.
Which
you know,
makes me ask though. I mean, you said it took a year and a half. How much of that time was like actually guarded and was like, no, I don't want to fuck with him. And it had to be a few months or maybe before he actually broke the wall down. You didn't want to let him know.
no,
We were at I think an open mic one night, and he like told me a joke because he's very funny. If you can't tell, and he told me a joke, and he was like, "Yeah, go out with me," and I was like, oh, "Okay." He got me laughing, you know.
There
So
it
like
is.
even when he proposed marriage, it was like I could tell a story, right? When he asked
everybody
me to
ain't
marry
gotta
him,
know every goddamn thing.
Well,
Ain't
he
no
asked
hug,
me to-
so you good.
When he asked me to marry him, it was like right after sex, and I was like,
It wasn't the first time we did it.
no, it wasn't the
It
first
wasn't
time
the
we
first.
did it.
Yo, hold on, my
Disclaimer.
nigga. Hold on.
Yeah.
Make sure you didn't hit that.
Hold on.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I
Maybe
didn't.
when you
I,
really
no,
No,
it wasn't.
It
no,
wasn't the first time.
no, we
but
was
it was
getting
like,
it the fuck in. We was getting it deep.
Will you marry me, Mary?
But it was
Right.
like he was in the moment and he was like, "Oh, you know, marry me," and I was like, "Nigga, shut up, and go to sleep." You know, you in the moment. You know. Then the next day he brought the ring and was like, "No, marry me," and I was like, "Oh, you serious?
Serious.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
Oh,
it's a
you wanna-
marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, just hold on.
I mean, you know, it's good and all,
Just
but
listen.
I mean,
I'm just saying, just listen to this. Okay, first of all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to respect the fact that she didn't just give me the pussy. I mean, can I say that?
you
Is
can say that.
All right.
You can say that.
I
It's
just-
yours. It's yours now
I
for
didn't.
life.
I couldn't, you know, negate the fact that she just didn't give me the pussy. Like, there's some chicks I'd have met, they just gave me the pussy. Like, damn, you soup. I gave you the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Do you still talk to those chicks
No,
now?
wifey,
Are those chicks still in
That's
your
old
your
news.
phone?
Nigga, you
Yeah,
know
God.
that. You
That's
know
mad
the
old.
truth.
Nobody want no old hoes in the club.
Nah, right,
Nah,
nah.
it's over for them.
Come on, Teek, you know it ain't
I'm
that.
just
You know it ain't
curious.
that.
That's
You know.
damage control.
How
Those
often
shit-
do you see these chicks?
No,
It's
those-
over.
those-
That shit is
Are they
over.
still Facebook friends?
They're all
Something?
fiends.
That
now.
shit
They're all-
over.
they're
That
all
shit
fiends
over,
now.
I'm
dog.
just cute.
No.
I'm
Jefferson,
just
Moraine,
But
Ross.
what
Don't worry
I'm
about it.
saying is, you know, it wasn't like I ain't saying I'm the man like that, but I mean, you know, shit. On the average, nigga, I get it. You know what I'm
SupaEmcee
saying?
gets pussy.
I would get it.
SupaEmcee
Shit.
gets hoes.
So, you know, it would stop. Damn, why you gotta be
I
like
got
that?
it.
So, you know, to me, you know, with her, you know, not giving, I'm like I said, I was like, nigga, shit, what the fuck? So, you know, I had to respect that.
Yeah.
But then I also had after, you know, crossing those boundaries and her letting me into the interiors of her life, I got to see the fuck why. You understand? It wasn't just like she was just hoeing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this nigga been through some shit with a bunch with some niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga did this, and then, you know, a motherfucker she was before it was on this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know, she has to judge whether it's her or the fucking niggas, but
Yeah.
it wasn't her. It's the fucking niggas.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
collected
So
broken toys for a minute there.
so
Like,
I could understand why a person would put me through this particular trial or this particular stint or
Sure.
to see where my head was really at. You know what I'm saying with this. So after, you know, being around and going through that, I respected it. And it was like, damn, girl, you you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then for me, like I said, the whole ass phone call shit. Like, nigga, I'm talking.
I'm trying to get in the groove, and here you go. Let me let you go.
Right,
I'm pulling up in the driveway. Well, shit. Can I call you tomorrow?
No.
Busy in the motherfucker.
No,
Let me
nigga.
call you. Don't call me.
No, right. No, nigga, like, nigga, no. You can't call me tomorrow. And don't call me and to the point where it was like, I don't want to fuck it up and call her.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't wanna bother her. Yeah, right.
I told you.
I
Now you a
told you.
buckaboo ass
Right.
nigga.
You
Yeah.
get,
you know, but
you know, that might fuck my Monday into Tuesday up.
All the
That
way.
might fuck my Monday and that Thursday card. That might not get that.
But
you know,
the first time we actually did get together, it was like unexpected. I actually made the first move because I hadn't had sex in like it was like 4 or 5 years.
She was waiting.
And my girlfriend was like,
"Can I back that up? How do you do that?"
It was, man,
4 or
like
5 years. I can't go 4 or 5 hours. Let alone sometimes 4 or 5.
But you know, at
weeks.
the time I was
Adidas,
working
all
at Herman Kiefer in the STD
Oh,
clinic.
there you go.
There
That's
you go.
And it
Never
was
wanna
like,
get
Well,
it was like,
and listen, for the
All right,
internet,
yeah.
this is for the internets that don't know. Herman Kiefer is like, you see all kind of nasty motherfuckers come through there.
8 out of
Drips.
10 is burning.
Nigga got a coral reef around his dick head. Somebody got chlamydia that's dancing in that motherfucker like the
Hey.
Dave Chappelle skit. Yeah, you know, that's probably ugh to turn me off. Like,
Yeah,
you
5
nasty,
years easy.
nasty
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I
Minimum
was
sentence.
good.
Okay.
And then my girlfriend was like, you know, Kelly, you a little uptight. Maybe you need to go on and call that little rap nigga. And
Little rap nigga.
the
huh?
little
Yeah.
rap nigga. I done did world tours and shit. You know what I'm saying? I done done world tours and shit. I done been on sitcoms and
Yeah,
shit. She's like
yeah,
the little rap.
Little rap
So
nigga.
Hate that
I
shit,
just I went over there. I went over there with like a large drink from McDonald's and a large fry. Knocked on his door, and I was like, "Hey, you know, it was my lunch. I was like, hey, if you're not doing anything right now, I was wondering if you'd like to have sex with me."
Well,
And I thought he was gonna turn me down, you know,
And a
because
boxer.
wait a
box.
minute, who
Shit.
in the right mind
I-
would turn that down?
Thank you.
I thought he was
right.
No-
because
no
I
man
brought,
alive.
you know, I mean, I only brought one drink and one large fry, you know,
And a box of mags. She had a box of mags.
and a box of magnums, yes.
There it is.
Talking about, I was hoping for no. Come on.
No, nigga. Hey, no. Hey, you know, hey, you ever got whooped by your grandma before?
yeah.
You got whooped by,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
You know how your grandma would grab your hand like a ballerina?
Yeah.
Your ass? But that's how I had her. I grabbed her by her hand and spit her around till she was naked.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Zorro and that
Yeah.
Shit, quit
Yeah.
playing right. Hold your hand up.
Go,
silly,
go,
man.
Yes, that was,
You know, so you know, but
and that was the story of us. You
but,
know?
but like, but you know, like coming into the situation and dealing with, the situation and how she has to parent with the one baby daddy, and then you know, dealing with the other baby daddy and just stuff that she, you know, has been through. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I had a baby mama.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And shit, right now, I'm about to get ready to go to court for my son.
Crazy from dumb stuff.
Dumb silly shit.
Been there too, internet.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, how could I look at her jaded and sideways
Sure.
when I got a situation as well? You
Sure.
see what I'm saying?
right,
where I got to deal with, you know, if I do nine things right and then the 10th one is off, my baby mom is like, oh, you ain't gonna see this.
Yeah.
Like, you out
Let me
cold.
ask you guys this too, because again, talking from that same type of stint, I've
Right.
been in courtrooms before. Almost been locked the fuck up because of whatever,
Right.
and allegedly, and
yeah, of course.
you know,
Always alleged.
it's always alleged. But do you think that is because the other partner now sees the happiness in you and been able to walk away from situations? So for you, it's like, yo, now you found a woman that's this, loves you for who you are,
Right.
builds, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And Kelly the same way. Like, now you're not in this situation where it was rough, it was tough. It's someone that genuinely loves you, builds with you, entertains, makes you laugh, and they like, damn, you a different person. Like, and it's that hate from that other party. Like, do you think a lot of it stems from that?
with her situation, she wasn't dealing with them like that.
No.
But you know, I know the difference in her is, to me, that like I see my wife is being free to do other things that she wasn't
Yeah.
in the capacity to do at the
Sure,
time.
sure.
Like, you know, she was, you know, to me, if you will, like a lot of stuff to me, I think that she's went through, it made her shy or
Okay.
made her, you know, like almost like an ostrich want to stick her head in the dirt about
Yeah.
shit where she should hold her head up high.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like a true eagle. You know,
Yeah.
bird game,
Eagle.
you know, so
Birds.
I'm starting to see that because, you know, like I'm a little guy. I don't want to say a little fella, but you know, if we
10
could
feet tall,
if we could be as big as our energies, I would probably be, you know, Galacticus or somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so I
real.
wouldn't even be able to stand on the earth. So, you know, I give that energy to her. Like, you know, sometimes like she used to tell me, because you know, when I would be talking to her, like I'll be talking to her like
loud in a motherfucker.
No, I'm gonna give it to you. I would be talking to her like a sensei or a fucking a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that the soldiers would get misconstrued about a drill sergeant is the drill sergeant really loves you, but the drill sergeant is just gonna it's tough love. But at the end of the day, it's not really the fact that I would be like, you know, Kelly, you ain't shit to make her want to say, well, I'm great, you know, like, no, it would be to the point where I would tell her like, fuck that shit. Like, I would be like, I would almost be like damn near instigating her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'd be like, fuck that shit, baby. You know, you ain't gotta,
Yeah.
and she's like, you know what? Fuck that shit.
You're right.
Motherfucking right.
But ain't that how it should be though?
Yeah,
You
but
should
that's what I'm
have
saying.
that,
But
battery
that's-
in your back.
Yeah,
from
but
her,
that's how that is. But then with a person like me who's always like, man, fuck that shit. She be like, whoa, now maybe
maybe this is not the time.
maybe that's not. Maybe it's not fuck that shit. Maybe it's like maybe you can smooth that out. So that's that's what we bring to each other. We bring that I bring her the thunder and she brings me that nice day. Like I'm motherfucking like, yo, Teek, Sherm, they disrespecting us. Fuck them and they mama.
They mama.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, my mama told me, like, if you ain't got nothing good to say about nobody, shut the fuck up. Because you popping off might get your lips busted. You feel what I'm saying? Because quit asking for what you want. You know what I'm saying?
That's
when
what
you really
happened to me.
don't
I'm a
want
light-skinned
it.
guy and have it all the time. Talk a lot of shit, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna beat your ass.
I think it's dope how she can be your happy day but you write quiet storms.
It's a balance. You got to have that balance.
You know.
But she ain't nobody to fuck with. Nah,
that's what it
But
was.
see, like,
Storms
you
go
gotta
on.
understand, like, the relationship I had with my daughter's father, you know, domestic violence is not about violence, it's about power and control, you know. And so, like, I was conditioned, you know, a certain way in that relationship, you know. And a lot of times, like, I feel like sometimes I'll be pressing his buttons and I'll get super quiet and he's like, no, don't get quiet, you know, tell me how you feeling,
Right.
you know. And he really encourages me to be okay with being angry, you know, because we always condition that black women shouldn't be angry, you know, we should be smiling it through, toughing it out, you know. But he encourages me all the time, you know, you should be angry, you should explore that, you know. He's like, but tone it down with me a little bit. But I mean, I'm just saying,
like, you know, like sometimes she'll go there and I'd be like, hold up, look, if you want to talk shit, let's call them niggas up and cuss their ass out. You know what I'm saying?
Your face got plastic.
Right, yo, because you know what I'm saying? Because she know, that's my baby. I ain't about to do nothing.
That's it.
You know, because I told her one time, I was like, you know what? I said, yo, you firing me up, you gonna get somebody fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna leave this house, and the first motherfucker say something to me, I'm cracking their ass for the shit that you just said.
Because you said y'all two Scorpios,
man,
right?
dog,
you
come
can't do
on,
him like
man.
that. You gonna send him out here charged up.
Man, dude, Sherm, dog, I done went out the house like the devil. Like, you know what? I want y'all to say something to me. Please, God, give me anybody. Give me the biggest nigga around here so I could test my mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog. Like, for real, nigga.
That's interesting.
Like
right?
that, man.
Now, y'all bring that much fire to one another. Does it help in y'all creative process?
Hell
No,
yeah.
listen,
okay, so we just
is
did
where-
a show.
This is where I want y'all to hold that. I want y'all to hold that. Let's go back, Sherm. We're gonna hold that.
All right.
We're gonna sit back with Supa and Native.
All
We're
right.
coming back at the half. Fuck with us. Blue Tigers Fitted, okay? Check out Freshly Made Music, you know what I'm saying, at the half. Stay with us. Stay tuned to the Blue Tigers Fitted show. Let's go.
Yo, this BTF Tom representing a Detroit born and bred crew that articulates the unfiltered thoughts behind the current events of the social world, representing that Blue Tigers Fitted podcast. Tell a friend to check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We all over that thing. Peace.
Blue Tigers Fitted Internets, we're back. Hope you enjoy freshly made music. You understand? Listen, man, check it out. You know we got a network. We got the Blue Tigers Fitted Network. Fucking out with my man, LV, the Daily Brew Coffee. He just put up, apparently it's like National Coffee Day for 2018.
Hey.
Now, granted, I don't know when the coffee day is, okay, Sherm? But LV definitely has some 7 days of conversation challenge. So, internets, if you guys head over to the Daily Brew at each morning, 8 a.m. So starting this week, when you hear this, every 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have a live stream on Facebook. He's got co-host, Sean Hart. And in the description, he talks about Coffee Brews Conversation each morning with Sean Hart. There'll be a challenge. They'll share a challenge every week, every day to get conversation popping. This is a week only. And, of course, you got to support. You got to supply, my man Flint Town. Buy a bag of his 12-ounce coffee and then get Sean Hart's From Average to Elite book for free. Free 99. He's going live on Facebook, so get the instant notifications and let the conversation rolling. He's starting that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So check him out, man. Your boy LV doing big things. I know he just came out with the dark roast. I'm happy to have him as a network partner and everything he does. So, Kelly, I know you were talking about you like coffee.
I love coffee.
You got to check it out. Actually, you know what? I might even leave you with the bag of some Ethiopian coffee of his own blend.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
She love that Tim Horton crack.
We got you.
Now we gotta support black businessman. Shout out to Flint. Shout out to LV. He's a good brother.
Good brother, man.
product.
You know what I'm saying? Flint Town. It's none of that Netflix shit you see on, Netflix. How remember the Flint Town and it's terrible.
LV is real Flint.
He's real Flint.
He ain't TV Flint.
Yeah, he's not TV Flint. So shout out to you, LV, man, and Daily Brew
Shout
Podcast.
out.
But listen, man, we at the break, we talked about creative genius and creative process, and that you all are a couple,
Right.
and you guys have been together, married, what?
Married
Almost 3 years.
in
We've been
November.
3 years in
about
November.
Got
7
married on
years.
his birthday.
Congrats.
Well, I be thinking about when I hear shit like that. I be thinking about past at the church, like 3 years. They be asking niggas to come on who the oldest niggas were. 21 years.
Yeah.
But 3 years is a long time. But then to know someone and you've known each other how long?
About 7 years.
About 7 years. So
Yeah.
that's 7, 3, 10. That's right there.
Right.
You know what I'm
Round up.
saying? Round up.
Round
You know what I
up.
mean? Like, so that's real. So what Sherm was alluding to it before the break, talking about creative genius and creative process. So poetry. And I want to scale this back a little bit because Kelly, you chose the name Native Child.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And SupaEmcee. These are two totally different dynamics, right? Two totally different ends of the spectrum of hip hop and poetry, but they all mix because it has to do with words and sound, and it's a as they say, what is that? A universal language.
Right.
It
Right.
touches
You like
the
that,
soul.
Sherm?
Both
Right.
of them
For sure.
have the artistic ability to
So
touch the soul.
I want to dial it back, and we want to talk about that creative process in the household. Now we have two competitive people that hone in and love their craft, right? Because
For sure.
right? Because
Yeah.
now you have someone that is, about her words and experiences. And it is the same thing for an MC,
Yeah.
right? Words and experiences
Yeah.
and how I translate that to my audience.
Right.
Because while some of the audience members might be different, in a lot of ways, they're very similar,
Right, right.
male or female.
Right.
So, Kelly, I'll start with you first. Talk about the origin of why you chose Native Child to be your alias, AKA, and to perform with, and talk about that creative process within a household of an MC.
Okay. So, all right. So my first poet name was like Lane. Right. I was like the full figure poet, which was like a stupid name, but
That's not a stupid name.
But it was like in a clutch because I was at Cafe Mahogany, which Fluent
yes.
used to host.
We all used to be
And I was coming up on the mic and I was like, I need a name, and I was like, oh, full figure poet, and everybody's like, yeah, and I was like, that's a dumb name. But Native Child kind of came about. It's like a nod to my native ancestry. I'm a Anishinaabe, which means first people.
My homeboy Sean Day is a Anishinaabe, so shout out to Anishinaabe.
Yes, Boozhoo.
Mm.
That was like kind of like when I go on the microphone and I talk about my experiences, that I represent both sides of the sun, my African American ancestry and my native ancestry, and I want them represented in a way where, a lot of people look and they see that's a black woman, but I'm like, no, I'm not just black women. I at intersections, bitch.
There you
know,
go.
So
I
I
love
have
it.
to make sure that I represent when I'm on the microphone. Both indigenous voices and black voices. As far as the creative process, so we struggle a lot.
Yeah.
Because like we're critics. We try to do like some constructive criticism when it comes to our work. And he got like crazy game when it comes to words. And I
Sure.
but like our experiences are different.
Yeah.
So I'll read a poem to him. He'll be like, well, I would say it a little different, go a little hard, and I'm like, no, that's not where I'm at in life,
Right.
But he want me to be a little more raw and ragged, but it just don't come out right.
I mean, does it work two ways? He hit you with the line, you be like, nah.
The
bars is trash. Nah.
I don't know. His stuff is actually phenomenal.
Which it is. I'm just saying, you get the insider secret. You heard the bars that nobody heard. You was like, yo, how does this sound? Does this rhyme with this? Nah.
So
Don't give me that.
I was like, go a little softer, babe.
Yeah.
Like, man, you always want to go and bite the lion head off first. Like, why don't you go a little softer? Introduce yourself to the lion first.
Sure.
Say hello, but no, he want to go, go straight for the jugular.
Like she be hearing that. Like she be hearing that shit to like the shit I ain't released yet. Like that she be hearing that shit right off the noggin. Like dog. Like damn near like a freestyle if I kicked it in the club.
That's real.
But I be like, yo, listen to this. She be like, yo, the fuck. Like, yo, the fuck.
So, I mean, speaking of freestyle, y'all just kind of
The Guinness Book of World
Yeah.
Records, man. SupaEmcee.
Hey.
Clap that up for SupaEmcee.
Yo,
The
man.
Guinness Book, the longest freestyle.
Hey.
Yeah, team freestyle.
Bro.
Longest team.
Okay, so
Shout
for
out to all the
the
MCs
internet's
out
listening.
I'm
okay?
going to be going for the solo too.
So
I'm
here's the
going
thing. For the
solo,
internet's
too,
listening, first and foremost, one, how the fuck did you find out on the Guinness Book of World? I ain't heard Guinness Book of World Records since Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, but no, like the.
So wait a minute. I'm gonna fuck you up real quick. So Guinness Book of World Records, I have not heard since Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, so we're talking early mid '90s and
Dewey
shit,
Decimal
right?
System.
I mean,
Dewey Decimal System. Okay, we're dating ourselves, internet. We're dating ourselves. So when I hear Guinness Book of World Records, I'm thinking like, yo, this is old shit. This is in that fat ass like almanac. You know what I'm saying? And shits where it's like got the Manila pages where you ain't flipping through shit because that's the industrial age of things. We're in the informational age of things. So I'm like, whatever. But I heard that and I'm like, wait a minute. Guinness Book of World Records for longest freestyle. One, how did you find out about it? Two, tell the internets how you came about breaking the record, because I swear I saw a slumber bag, Gatorades, bottle of water,
I mean, I would
and
think
toilet
so.
paper.
I would think so.
Energy drinks.
Yo, you saw energy drinks, chip bags, man. All type of shit. I mean,
So how did this come about?
well, like I'm always, doing the art, you know what I'm saying, trying to keep the art of freestyling alive, because to me that's the purest form of rapping. Because all the forefather MCs were able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then we move into this age where, it's like a dying art. You know what I'm saying? To be able to freestyle.
A written is a freestyle.
A written is a
But-
freestyle, but we all know what the purity of that is, because when you first think about the written, it's a freestyle until you write it down and rehearse it.
There it is.
And once you write it down and rehearse it, and it becomes steps like to a dance, then it's no longer a freestyle. It's a routine. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
It's a fucking
real shit.
routine. So, by me being one of those guys that everybody can definitely identify with that art form, you know what I'm saying? So I got reached out to by my dog Nick Speed, which me and Nick Speed is always on some old extraordinary type shit. We about to do TED Talk in a minute.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be on
Nice.
TED Talk on the 26th.
Sally.
Next
All right,
couple days.
October, right?
Yeah, no, this month.
Yeah.
Oh, September.
This Wednesday, anybody?
Wait a
Wednesday.
minute. Where's this TED Talk taking place?
Detroit.
Uh,
TEDx Detroit.
TEDx
Yeah,
Detroit.
where? Coleman?
It's at Masonic Temple.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to that.
Sherm, all I heard was an invite for 3, Masonic Temple, TED Talk.
Listen, man,
so we could be here with our guys,
It
Supa.
would
Hey.
be nice.
That's
Yeah,
all I heard.
we-
Hey,
we
Teek,
gonna work on
man,
that.
Sherm.
They tight on them
Listen,
tickets,
man,
though. They tight on
on the
tickets.
tickets. Like they tight on the ticket. They got a format, and we, we was trying to get, like our relatives and people that was really close to us in there, but I can't even get my wife.
No,
in there.
that's
like,
real.
This shit
That's
is
real.
crazy.
Now,
I would love. Listen,
tell-
I would actually, honestly, I would have fucking loved if we could have got in touch with y'all and y'all could have came to where we was
That's
at
real
the
shit,
Cadillac building to do this shit, because that shit would have been crazy for y'all to actually be sitting there and then going live
That's
from
real
there.
shit, man. Listen, we got the future to come. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Trust me,
and then
Teek. The next shit, I'm gonna have y'all in there. And plus,
Salute.
she got an open mic too that she does
Yes.
every Wednesday, and
we
y'all
gonna
come
get the
down and
plug,
broadcast.
man.
Like,
Question.
And
Yeah,
that-
okay.
and that's where I wanted to talk to, and kind of throwing it back to
Yeah,
Kelly.
yeah.
Yo, talk about colorful women slam team.
Okay.
Okay, because there was a GoFundMe that was out there. Don't let me cut
Yes.
you off.
Yes.
2014.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And there's this team. Talk about what this team is, what that represents, and what you're trying to do.
So Colorful Women Slam Team was came about in 2014. It was me, a couple of my cousins, and a couple of other girls in the community, all Detroit poets. And we had Rust Belt, which is a regional competition in the city of Detroit. It comes, back to Detroit every now and again. And I was like, let's go do this. Let's go represent. And we did actually, and they were all first time slammers on the team. And we did pretty good. I forgot what we ranked that year.
And what is a slammer? We
Right,
talked
I
about
was
that
just about to
earlier in the
ask that.
first half. For the
Yeah,
internets
yeah.
that are listening in and don't know, what is slam? What is a slammer? What is slam poetry? What does that mean?
Slam was invented by this guy named Mark Smith. The home birthplace of slam is Chicago, so our neighbors across the water.
Chi-town.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was invented to kind of take like the pretentiousness of poetry out and make it more accessible to poets like myself, poets in the city, And it just became this. It evolved into this art form, and it was invented back in the 80s, and it invented into this art form, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. And the premise behind it is that you go up there, you have 3 minutes, you got a 10-second grace period, and you kind of just pour out your heart. It's part written, it's part performance, it's part personality, and the exciting thing about it is that they pick judges, random judges out of the audience. We're talking about slam in the purest form.
Sure.
They pick judges, and the random judges, 5 of them. The low and the high score dropped. You get a score from 0 to 30. And you win like talking bragging rights. Talk shit, tell everybody I'm better than you, bitches.
So when you go out of town and and you rep the set, you rep Detroit. What's the reception when you get done off the mic? You know what I mean?
Honestly, as far as poetry, like what I've noticed about women of color, doing slam, is that a lot of times the expectation is that we're coming across angry, and they want a show, and I get, on one hand, I can see like my sisters have a lot of things to say. They're angry, they pissed, they want to say things, on the other hand, there's other things about us that we can talk about and say and stage and give to the audience, besides anger,
Right.
and I like to show that other side.
Sure.
But like as far as Detroit, they hate on Detroit a lot. Detroit
Yeah,
poets.
I thought
Hey,
it was all love.
hold on.
I threw up the
Detroit
9.5.
poets, man.
Hey, look, man, like we just did like a team freestyle
Yeah.
Okay.
for longest team freestyle.
Yep.
By
So
the way, what was the record? By the way, for the numbers.
The record was 24 hours
in a minute.
in a minute.
Wow.
We went.
Okay.
We
You didn't
went.
wash your ass for 24 hours.
We went 24. We went 20. We went 25 hours, like
Wow.
approximately
That's
25 hours.
Crazy.
But we was gonna continue, but we had technical difficulties
Sure.
with like the
Documenting,
footage, with
yeah.
documenting it.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just about to say
Yeah,
because
yeah,
motherfuckers' phones only last so long.
We didn't have the proper, you know what I'm
Setup.
saying,
Yeah.
setup. We had it to do a capacity of
I thought they sent the guy. Like,
No, I mean they can send a guy,
okay.
but if you don't have the technology
Yeah.
to okay, just say this. You got X amount of cards
Right.
to do certain to record
Document
certain
the footage.
things, to
Yep.
document the footage, and then you run out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this has to keep going.
Sure.
It has to keep going, and then we didn't have. It was just a technical.
They could have
thing.
went longer.
We could have.
They coulda went
We
longer.
was ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many people are on this team?
It was 8 people.
Yeah. Wow. All Detroit artists.
All Detroit artists. But then, you know, I wake up and then I see, you know, we got a Detroit nigga hating, nigga was saying, nigga talking shit, you know, they're weak, I'm weak, you know. And I'm sitting there looking like, I'm sitting there looking like to talk to me, I don't know about other niggas with this rap shit.
Sure.
But to talk to me about that, in my head, I'd be like, damn, I was trained by the best of the niggas. Like I was already an animal coming up with this rap shit, but I was actually trained by the best of the niggas to do it. So now I really know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I battled in this city to get my name, and if niggas don't think I'm one of the top tier rap niggas in this shit, at one particular time, nigga, it wasn't a nigga around here that could tip they had at me on that shit.
I mean, your resume speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself.
It's like taking somebody's baby and saying, "Yo, baby, ugly."
But
you know.
But in this type of situation, we repping our city. And we're repping all the rappers in our city.
Right.
And anything that a SupaEmcee or Royce 5'9" or Eminem, a Guilty Simpson, or anybody that's bringing a T Grizzly, you know what I'm saying, a Big Sean, all we doing is bringing better light to our situation and to the rappers that are in our culture and part of our family tree, which is Detroit.
Right.
So it behooves me to hear these niggas hate on us when we trying to break a record or freestyle, when I know these niggas can't out freestyle me. I know these niggas cannot out rap me. I don't give a fuck who they go in the studio with, how many fucking auto tunes they use, how many trap beats they want to rap. I know these niggas cannot out rap me. So
say it with your chest, baby.
It just fucked me up to when. And then when I go and investigate a nigga music is crappy too. So it's like I get in my head.
Okay, so
it's
what
like,
he talking about is like in the midst of the freestyle and the footage and the recordings and the Facebook posts.
Because
this
is like a live chat thing with the video.
Somebody had put on there that that my husband was whack with his freestyle.
They was weak, and no, it was that he was talking about that and the rest of what everybody was doing.
And it incensed them a little bit. A lot of
the
it.
Reason, you know how the internet goes.
I know, I get that. I get that, but the reason why this pissed me off to the point, because I don't give a fuck really what a nigga say.
Right.
It just really irritated me because me and these people sat in one room for a whole fucking day.
Correct.
For something positive.
Rapping to represent a city where
put you niggas on, yeah,
right.
I'm raving the deep fitted.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But then when I look at artists such as these people that would even say something like that, or just open their mouth to try to put down the shit, like your music is trash.
Yeah.
Like literally, you trash.
Trolls.
And then you on the internet with box crochet braids and a dirty T-shirt. No. Let me speak on this. To me, it's like this. I know niggas that went to school and they played basketball and they was basketball niggas like all their life, and that's all they did was basketball, and they actually did, great things, and they think of being part of the basketball culture.
Sure.
So I would give them credit for gauging games, engaging players,
right,
and giving into the statistics of things. But what I don't like is when dumbass rappers that don't know nothing about the culture of rapping, but always want to take the title of a rapper and go around and misrepresent the culture in everything that they do. I don't give a fuck if you think you a real nigga or not, or you done sold so much dope or nothing. You're misappropriating what this culture is with your corniness. You know what I'm saying?
That's his word, corny.
But in the same breath, you are not even top tier in your lane to even speak on somebody with the gravity that I have.
Right.
You understand? Or the gravity of the people that was in that room to make this situation possible. Because I know that in your little increment of whatever you trying to do with rapping, it is pubescent to any of the individuals, to any of the individuals that showed their energy that was resonating in that particular situation.
Do you think he was just a dude that was jealous? Yeah, I ain't put him on.
I think everybody is jealous. Listen,
they gonna come out. They
listen,
come out. I told him we had this conversation, and I said, I was like, when you do things and that spotlight your talent, it's gonna bring people out who feel like, well, I should have been there.
Okay. That's cool too.
Let me finish, baby.
Okay. But I'm about to hit y'all with a strike, and we ain't playing bowling.
I travel and do poetry and do slams and do shows outside of Michigan. Yes. You know, and all these shows that I do are shows that I have negotiated and put myself on, you know. Right. And it's not any, and there's a couple of people who fuck with me on poetry scenes, but you know, like I do this stuff, right? Yeah. Now, do I know that people here in my own city, in my own community talk shit? Hell yeah.
But of course.
You know,
but see what I'm saying is,
but like when we talk, what I tell him, I said, well, what our responsibility as artists is to change the fucking narrative.
But
you know, not to spew that venom back, but to be better in our craft.
Okay, that may resonate in the poetry community, but this is hip hop. You have to respond.
Hip hop.
You have to respond. This is a war with words. Like
success.
It is, but then I also have to address that shit. You understand?
Let me ask you this. You said it's about response. We can flip this shit because of the most recent Eminem, MGK beef.
You have to. I mean,
so M went at him on the Kamikaze album.
Right.
MGK felt compelled. Cincinnati dude, white boy. Cleveland, Cincinnati, it's like fucking
it's
hours
all
away.
Ohio.
You got to get through fucking 5 hours of everything to get through anything.
All Ohio. So.
And if you ever driven from Michigan,
what that means.
Yes, through Ohio,
Buckyburg shit, flatland and white cops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it's a long ass flat.
It's a long ass drive,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're right. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Cincinnati's at the asshole end, right by Kentucky.
Yeah.
So you're right, Sherm.
Yeah.
Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Having to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Machine Gun Kelly has some, it wasn't I'm not playing that shit in my fucking car.
Right.
I listened to the response and it was like, okay, dude made some funny ass valid points on a few hits, right? He got his jabs in. But now, Eminem responds back, right? And then Machine Gun Kelly says, I'm not going to respond back again. I'm at a different point, yada, yada, yada. My 9-year-old daughter says this shit was whack, woody woo woo.
I mean,
what do you think about that situation?
You know when you fucking with somebody that's going to kill you.
Benzino.
You know when you, okay,
Jeffrey.
check this out. Check this out.
Our perspective is different on this. Our perspective is different on this.
Okay, I done been in fights where I done ran up on a nigga and hit him first punch, motherfucker down, right? I done floored him.
So
just floor. It's a rap, right?
It's a rap, yeah.
That little nigga got some,
but I done also been in the fights where shit, I was rocking this nigga face, man, and he caught me like, oh bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he caught me.
I didn't expect that.
I ain't expect that.
Ready.
But no, I was ready. I just didn't expect that bitch to have that much hammer time behind it.
A little harder.
It was a little harder than I thought.
You
feel me? I was like, oh, but you know what? I ate that biscuit and I gave him back some more biscuits.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it's like with this shit, it's like motherfuckers know who to run up on and who not to. Period. In life. That's why you would get some motherfuckers that talk shit to another motherfucker and they won't talk shit to another motherfucker. So they'll talk shit to a motherfucker that's gonna stand you talking shit, but to that motherfucker is gonna smite you as soon as your mouth catch air. They ain't gonna say nothing to him.
So you think MGK is treating Eminem like the dude he know he could pop off to? You know what
I
I'm
just
saying?
I just think MGK shot is wide. And Eminem just was like, bitch, I'm going to hit you on the top of the head with this katana.
That's real.
So you don't think
because okay. After listening to MGK's diss, I was like, clever. And I was like, you know what? And you took the traditional songing
Right. Yeah, you used.
You didn't just go down the thing with a rhyme. I'm gonna just go at you.
Right.
You know, like a cannabis. You know, 100 bars. You didn't take that route.
Yeah, you're talking about cannabis 100 bars.
Yeah.
Cannabis written shit.
No. I'm talking about when you just go continuously going in on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
See, my understanding of battle rap has evolved, just like with the times has evolved. Even though I still think that traditional battle rap should be handled off of the top, freestyler with not preparing for a nigga. I mean, like, yeah, you can read some shit about the nigga, but don't sit there and take cliff notes about the shit. Yeah. Read it.
Because you could Google some shit nowadays. And
listen. Read it, and store it in your brain, and then show up and then get a nigga the biz.
Right.
Because a freestyle battle was nothing but a lyrical argument.
Correct.
Now you said y'all had different opinions.
We have different opinions. I mean, I don't invest in the whole, rap battle, beat. Yeah, because to me, it doesn't elevate the artistry. To me, I think it belittles you as an artist. Really? To take the time out, to degrade another artist in your own, like you basically pissing in your own pond.
But y'all
like our perspectives are different. Y'all to me, it shows you as an artist to grow beyond that, and to encourage other artists, into the pond.
I get that. But see, y'all way of outbeating each other is outperforming each other and out
like a girl from Gridlock. Land of the free,
they go by who can
understand it. His understanding of a poetry slam, was completely different because he thought like a poetry slam, we going and we battling each other.
I thought they was writing poems about each other, like this bitch hair is not put together right. She has fucked up toenails and mismatched paint on her nails.
$5.
Right.
Got $50.
Right. This bitch caught a cab to the poetry slam because her baby daddy took her car and left it at.
I've gone to slams and people have done poems and they trash poems, but they perform the shit out of the poem and they score perfect scores on it.
My thing is,
that's what I thought.
I appreciate like how y'all both talking right now because I didn't know what the fuck a poetry slam was either. I was
fucked up. I was waiting to beat. I was like, oh, this shit about to get real hectic up in this bitch. Like, I know she was gonna come out like her coat is not fitting her right. Her belly hangs over her belt line. Ooh,
happy bitches.
This rhythmless twerking bitch.
But at the end of the day, I walked out of there with a different experience, a different appreciation of the culture.
Listen, that's why I thought.
I appreciate how y'all handled this.
I thought slams were dead, bro. It's like hip hop is dead. I found a resurgence with that shit.
No,
it was live.
I connect with that shit, man. It's like it's crazy. Shout out to Joel Fluent Green, man, for like dudes like him putting on for the city and putting on talented artists. Man.
I mean
poetry versus hip hop.
Yo, so but I just want to touch on Joel. Like Joel to me, that guy walks a fine line between the culture of poetry and the culture of hip hop.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because he can rap. If you don't know, he's a fucking hell of a rapper. Like he can rap
bars.
No, he got bars. He was rapping with the Dilla shit.
So to me, when I look at him, like it's certain people in the game that I dub oracles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to me,
he oracle every night.
He's definitely one of the oracles because he is a person that is able to hold that has held doors for not only rap artists, hip hop artists, but poetry artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He held down a spot that held a stage that all of us MCs graced that bitch from me, Proof on down, and some of these biggest poets from Jessica Caramore to my wife to Amari like everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's doing his part. For sure.
He's one of those. He's one of those apexes. He's one of those apexes.
Oh, okay, funny story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we was in this Yeah, I like to tell the story because it's a shit talking story.
All right, do it.
So funny story. We was in this this fundraiser called Poetry versus Hip Hop, right?
Yeah.
And so I had
Shout
some,
out
like,
to Miss D.
yeah,
and
shout out.
Queen Sheba.
So we had some poets, some peers of mine that were on the show. My husband was on the show, and leading up to it, we in the inbox, talking to all the competitors and stuff, and and they were talking shit, talking their random shit. Now, mind you, my husband is a rap battle like extraordinaire, like he go like jugular shit, right?
Yeah.
So he like, well, whatever fucking poet I'm getting, I'm gonna just tear into them. And I'm like, nah, babe, babe,
yeah.
it's a
They was getting
fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. He was like, no, fuck that shit. I'm about to tear that motherfucker apart.
Yeah.
I'm like,
gonna kill that motherfucker.
I'm like, but babe, that ain't what poets do. We don't get on stage and we don't do that.
Shit.
So what they did was, so they had like a poet and an MC, up against each other every round, right? So they say the last round, they lined SupaEmcee and SupaEmcee up against Native Child. And he was so mad because he walked in, he was like, oh yeah, who the fuck am I going up against?
I just came from
like,
rocking the show with Cool Keith.
Going up against your wife.
Yeah. Hey, Teek, I was with Cool Keith, and I love rocking shows with Cool, man. Shout out to my nigga Cool Keith, man. He got a fucking Hollywood star.
Yeah.
Come on, he got a fucking Hollywood star on the Walk
True
of Fame,
game
dog.
right there.
Yeah.
Yo, and that's my motherfucking guy, dog. Yeah, Dr. Octagon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He on my
for sure.
he on my new album
Talk
called
about octopus.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I heard the track on Spotify earlier today.
Yo, that's
for
it. Yeah,
sure.
we got that was some shit. We was down in South by Southwest hanging out, and that's my guy. We just hit a studio and shit, and just came up with some fucking crazy ass shit to say on some beats and put that shit out. You know what I'm saying? That's my fucking guy. But he's on my new record, Crossroads, with me and Baby Paul from Beat Minders.
Okay.
But like, man,
he came for blood like a shark in the water.
All I'm saying is, I came in there like, look, because they was talking shit in the thing, and Queen She was like, yeah, y'all MCs and all that. So I'm sitting there like, you know what? Oh, y'all want to battle rap? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking like y'all don't know how we take this shit. Y'all don't know how we take this shit. I'm sitting there. Oh man, I'm sitting there looking like, oh, you know what? I know shit about the whole team. Like, oh man, I done been to poetry slams with y'all. I done know when y'all done fucked y'all poems up and shit. Like, oh, I'm about to crucify the shit out of y'all all off the top of my head. Like, this shit is about to be bad.
Yeah.
So we come in and I'm fresh off the show with Cool Keith and shit. So I'm geeked. I'm pumped. I'm super hip hop charged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to say some bold shit in here about y'all of this poetry.
Yeah.
And they put me up against my wife.
Yes. And we tied, and he was mad that we tied our round. He was like, no, fuck that, I won. I'm better than you. I'm like, wow, ego much?
I'm sorry.
Fuck that, I'm better than you.
I'm a competitive person.
He was mad that we tied. Like, the whole audience applauded for both of us.
No, I love my wife. I love my wife. I'm gonna always admit that my wife's better than me.
Not that night. That night.
Not that time. Not when it's actually.
Oh, not when it's head cutting time.
No. He opted not to freestyle. He did.
Yeah,
a song.
I did a song. I did one of my records.
He was trying to work the system and win the game.
But hey,
he's a wise man right here, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Sherm. My initial shit. I was in the car on the way there freestyling some shit. Like, when you a freestyler, the shit just keeps coming in your head. It just keeps coming and keep
fire.
Oh man, I was like, I'm about to say this. I'm about to say y'all the worst performers because y'all could get up there and read y'all books in front of shit. Yeah. Oh man, I had some bold shit to say. You know what I'm saying? Like how many millionaire poets do you know? Like I was man, dog.
Yeah.
I had bombs for their ass.
Yes,
like,
but he wanted to stay married, so
yeah. I was like, y'all motherfuckers. I was like, y'all motherfuckers. Hey, I love her. Her friends. Her people that she fuck with, her poetry community. I got a lot of love for them because, like, I'm gonna just say this. At one point in time in my career as a rap artist, I thought like the poetry people were like if
say it.
Okay, listen to this. If we was dealing in the hierarchy of heaven.
What kind of incense they burn?
if we was dealing in the hierarchy of heaven, I would have thought like the poets was like the 23 elders, and the rappers would have been like the archangels or the angels. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But when I got to know the poet, I was like, man, these some punk motherfuckers. I'm sorry, baby. I was like, man, some
that
punk
nigga sitting Indian style. Man. Get him out of here.
I was like, man,
nigga ain't got no socks on.
Man, no.
But you know what? No, but you know what? Like in real talk though, like when he started to kind of get to know me better and my writing style, and like I don't just write poetry. I write speeches, I write presentations, I write short stories. Like when he got more familiar with my writing style, and get to know me as an artist and my creative process, he got a little more respect for poets. No.
I already had. Listen, you know how you walk.
I'm talking about when you lost your way. When you lost your way.
Oh no. I'm talking about like how you going. Like when you walk into those new classrooms and the teacher be like, "Hey, you started with an A, but you got to keep that A." That's how I looked at poetry. Like they started with an A with me. Like a lot of I was like, yo, these are the community speakers because they didn't rap over beat. And then I thought they were the supreme understanding at one time. I was like, man, y'all janky as fuck. Y'all niggas is dirtier than rap niggas is.
Well,
like
you asked the interesting question, who is the $1 million poet? So let me ask, what's the game plan? What's next? How do you promote your brand? Or how does the internet go out here and support what you do? Honestly, because like I said during the break, you have the power to move crowd emotionally, and that's something not everyone can do. So everyone, how can they get down with your movement? You know what I'm saying?
Well, right now we fundraising, to support colorful women. They can look us up on what is that? GoFundMe, thank you, because my brain just went. That's all right. GoFundMe and Colorful Women Slam series. Mm-hmm. I'm working now on a book. He's trying to get me into the studio to do a spoken word album.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Listen, I heard you on the Immortal album. So
that was Peace.
That wasn't her.
No, that was Peace. See, that was her girl Peace. No. But I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Damn it.
Listen, Sherm, I'm glad you brought that up.
Shout out to my girl Peace. Because
Peace came and did it for me because I was on my wife's head about doing it. She gave me all this bullshit and all that.
It wasn't that. I just I've sat in the studio with him and I've watched him in the creative process, and he's like a little drill sergeant in the studio, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know if we could work, collaborate together and still survive.
I'll say this: you need to be the titties and not the shoulder.
Hey,
what does that mean?
Exactly.
I don't. What does that mean?
Shout out to BTF Teek, man. He know what it is.
I am so lost right now.
Oh shit, dog.
Shout out to Supa.
Oh shit, dog. Hey Teek, dog. You is straight off the block with us, dog. You have just been abducted into the class clown cappers of America, dog. I swear, the class clown cappers of America, dog. That shit was great, yo.
The titties and not the shoulders. Salute.
Hey,
salute to the titties and not the shoulder.
And not the shoulder.
You heard me?
Hey, but listen.
But
listen though, like
that was my hang up about working with him in the studio, and about us having issues in our marriage, if we couldn't collaborate, effectively in the studio. And so I told him, I said, ask somebody else to do it, and he got mad. Like, he didn't talk to me for a long time about that. Like, he got really mad about it, and it wasn't personal,
not.
But I was just like, I don't know if I could work in the studio and with you and have the quality of work that you want, without it affecting our marriage, and us having to go home together.
She was doubting herself. That's all I kept seeing. Because at the end of the day, what I'm gonna cut your foot off, Kunta? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give.
We're going home.
Right, we're going home after this. But at the end of the day, I know how serious she is about writing her poetry and performing her poetry, and I see this shit. So she knows how serious I am about when I I go and write my shit and record my shit. So at the end of the day, I'm expecting the same seriousness when I ask you to be on a platform as on one of my platforms as the same
talking
platform.
to me right now
I'm
directly?
talking to your ass right motherfucking now
Talk to
on
me.
this motherfucking show.
You heard me?
What I'm saying is I would want her to be sharp as hell on one of my platforms as she would expect me to be sharp on her platform. Like if she invited, like if she would do a show, like she just do her show, Colorful Women Slam Series. I, my artist, my manager, and motherfuckers off my record label was at that motherfucker to support that shit, and we got up there and we gave a hell of a fucking show. So if I asked my wife to
Plus,
come
I ain't
into,
have to pay him.
yeah, right, and you didn't have to pay me, you know,
Up front.
up front.
Yeah.
Good shit, T.
Later.
But what I'm saying is these are the things that happens or must happen if like she had told me before we got here, like Teek was saying, like, you're with power couple, right? Okay, cool. But these are the things that must happen if we are to obtain the quote on status quo title of being a power couple.
And that's
she must be on a fucking record. I must be at a show that she does. We must interact at least once or twice, even if that's not the way that we're trying to brand ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Or we're trying to be, her talent is independent from my talent. But at the end of the day, the people that are pushing the talent are together. You understand?
Rewind that back one more time. At least once.
At least once.
Okay? At least once.
You know what I'm saying?
Is what we're going to say to that. And that's what's dope about you guys. And that's exactly why we wanted to bring you guys on the show, to give you all another avenue, to give some ears and some eyes on you all, to be like, damn, who in the hell? Not left the gate open, but who in the hell are they?
But T, we do have creative differences. You know, Sherm, you wanted to hear. We do have creative differences because, like, I'm an animated rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm just period. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I know how to gauge a crowd. Like I could walk in anywhere and entertain the shit out of any. I mean, we could be at a wedding, we could be at school with the kids, and I would entertain the shit out of them kids, and I wouldn't even cuss at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I'm a wizard with words. I would get in there and I would talk to them at a level that they understand. Because we as adults, I've been there before, so I know how to kick it with y'all. It might not have.
I mean, I kind of feel you, like when you do this podcast and stuff, and you end up speaking to people like we speak. You just realize at the end of the day, we're all the fucking same.
Right.
So,
there's all the connection in us. We breathe air, motherfucker.
Sherm don't put his pants on one leg at a time.
So it's
this nigga jumps into them bitches.
So I
gotta see it to believe.
You gotta see it to pause.
Like, hey,
like, no, you ain't gotta see it.
I ain't see it.
I don't want to see it.
Whoa, hey, yo, as the New York niggas would say.
Hey, look, Teek, though, look, Sherm, like she want to reach people in the capacity she wants to reach people.
Absolutely,
and that's cool. But when you are an artist and you're reaching people in a massive way, sometimes the way that you're aiming does not also reach those people. You might fall short. So sometimes in some capacities, it's always able to flip some shit and have extra tool. Like, listen to this.
Talking about.
When you bring listen to this. When you buy,
we about to get into a debate here.
Listen, when you buy a toolbox, right? Mm-hmm. You buy a toolbox to handle situations that you need tools for, correct?
Okay. All right, I'm with you.
Listen to the analogy.
I don't no fucking toolbox.
Listen to the analogy, but that's why you won't be able to fix the tires outside, screw in the little. Okay, right. But we must come with a toolbox to aid you, though.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You buy a toolbox because you're gonna need different tools to handle different jobs.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So me as an artist, I write different songs because every day I might not feel like I want to burn somebody's house down. Today I might feel the love for society, and I might want to change somebody's mind and have them do something, positive, other than to throw trash on a nigga's lawn and say fuck his mama. You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah. So that's where we disagree as far as creative differences.
So I would tell my wife, I'd be like, you know what? You have the ability to touch people with your experience, and that experience is cool. But you also have to expand in the experiences in your life to reach people that also cannot feel that experience you've been through. Like, I've experienced shootouts. I've experienced being in a dope house. There's a lot of people that has not experienced that. Right. So me talking to him about that shit is like, okay, yeah, oh, whatever.
Yeah, sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy.
But no,
so
see, this is where we disagree. Like, I don't see me creating, a poetry trap.
No, I'm not saying.
Like, I don't see, like, it's taking me all this long to develop my poetry voice, and I'm comfortable in writing in the voice that I'm writing, but he's like, write for the audience, and I just feel like writing for an audience is not authentic to my voice. And like, like if I'm in a place where it's more where I grew up on West Side Detroit, Brightmoor, if
West Side, be more.
If it's that kind of audience that I shouldn't come in there, with my poem about my daughters, that I should make poems that are more relatable for that. But I figure, like, I'm from Brightmoor. This is where I grew up. This is where my roots are. This is my voice. It should be relatable. And if it's not relatable, then they should understand, like, hey, there's different perspectives.
But then I also know that you grew up in a certain house, on a certain street, in a certain area, in a certain city, and you dealt with certain struggles that certain people ain't dealt with, and then you dealt with certain struggles that a bunch of people have dealt with. So to me, when you writing poetry, I think that you should express some of these certain struggles, because some of those people that are sitting in the crowd that actually feel your poetry about your daughters, and to feel your poetry about the domestic abuse, and feel your poetry about different things, they also need to feel that you came from this, and you came from that. Okay, but that needs to be expressed too. To me,
let me bring it all together.
Yeah.
SupaEmcee, native child. What's next? What's the next frontier? Because I think of things, and as you mention this, and as you answer this question, I think of the children, right? I think of this interview. I think of other things that have been put out there to the world that the youth will see, and how mom and how pops responded, and how it was in this era, and how I'm going to get busy because this is how dad was, and this is how mom was.
Right.
So bring it all together and talk about what's next and what projects you're moving forward with.
I mean, she's gonna be sending a team of phenomenal poets to whether regionals or whether it is nationals to slam, and that's what, like, colorful women poetry is about. It's about giving, like, this woman has given a platform for other poets, and it's not
Detroit poets.
Yeah, Detroit poets, and it's not just strictly to women.
Sure.
It's to all the poets, to give them a way, and an avenue to pursue what they want to pursue as being, a regular poet or a spoken word artist, or you want to pursue the slam. She's trying to give a platform where they can go and do that on a national and as well as a regional level.
Where can they catch you on the tour, you say?
They can what's that, Cuts Lounge in Detroit?
Okay.
19655 Grand River is right off of Evergreen and Plainview.
Damn.
Because low key, I mean, we've got listeners that come, like, literally all the way from
and
Sweden
it's not
to come and fuck with a lot of
man.
shit that comes down in Detroit.
It's not just she's doing slam, but that's the thing that's behind it. That's
and
the
I
crown
perform
jewel
too.
of it.
Right. I got performances coming up.
But it's also open mic and feature artists.
Artists.
Okay.
Comedy, hip hop.
Yeah, all of that.
All this stuff. Yeah.
So she's putting it all on one. She's putting rap, hip hop, singing on one platform.
If you a mime,
arts.
Come on out.
The arts.
So Supa, where can the internets find you?
Yeah,
I would say Google me, man. I ain't trying to be a boomer. Google me, baby. I mean, that's the to me. When you Google somebody, Teek, all that shit just comes up, right? So just Google SupaEmcee, and you will Google me. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to see that.
Me on Facebook, Instagram.
I know they can find a lot of your work on Spotify. So
man, because I be trying to
Spotify,
word,
bitches.
man.
Yeah.
My last album was the Immortal album, And you know, like that album was like a great album. If people haven't peeped it, you really.
You had the Lawnmower Man effect shit going on the front cover.
But it's fire though.
Yeah, look, he said the Lawnmower Man. Look, hey Teek, yo, you see where I was going? Yo,
Listen,
gone,
after
yo.
kicking it with him, I get the whole entire album.
You get the
now.
vibe.
I get it.
Gone.
So
Hey,
it's
but see
fire,
though, you know what I'm saying? The project, man, to me, that was like, I was going through a lot of depth. Like, me and my wife been together, man, for a while, and I know one thing that's been constant, other than me and her being around each other, is that I've been going through like a lot of death. Like a lot of people in my family just passing, and it's like, I don't know what it is, dark cloud. I don't know, call it life. Yeah, she keep reminding me that.
We
But
look
the
at
shit-
death. We
it's
look
just
at death.
life,
We
bro.
look
Yeah.
at death
Death,
completely
yeah.
different.
Yeah, I be
so-
fucked up.
How we look at it.
I just hate when one of the people at the party has to go home unannounced.
That's real shit.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
You know, we was all just having a good time, Sherm.
Well, see,
You
I
know?
look
Yeah.
at I look at death as, you know, like we look at death as energy, you know, that just transforms into something else. So you're not really losing a relative. or
Hey,
a
but
loved one,
hey,
right,
though, Teek,
but
until
you miss
all
that
of
physical
until
presence
all of
of
us
that
can
person.
see that energy, that's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
Hey,
That's why I love him. This is why I love him, because he keeps it real.
But
Hey.
we look at it too like this. That's my native side, you know, and how I look at life, and like that average circle. We born, we die. You know, that's the circle.
That's
And
cool.
where can the internet's find you, Miss Lady?
Native Child Brown on Instagram
Hey.
and Facebook.
Hey, okay.
You know, and like I said, he's encouraging me into the studio to do a spoken word album, and you know,
And it wouldn't take her long. Like, she know all the shit already. It don't even,
That's it.
I feel like when she hear her voice in playback and feel how well this interview was, how
Yo,
dope it is. She
low,
gonna be
you
like,
know what, low
let's
key,
hit the
like
studio.
I hate the sound of my voice.
No, it's good.
You
but see,
love
though,
it.
that's
Love it.
why when
You
we
know.
record her, we won't let her hear her,
There it
her
is.
talk.
There it
You know
is.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
When we hear her vocals back.
We can get some Charlie Brown shit like
Like, no, she just hear, you know, it'd just be like,
Yeah, there it is.
She
There
But
it
won't
is.
hear
see,
the
like
shit.
that's weird because
Oh,
like real talk, like I love watching my husband perform. Like
Yeah.
I love watching him perform. He loves watching me perform, you know, and he'll sit and watch footage of him perform or listen to him perform so he can get better.
Right.
I don't watch shit. I'll be
So
like,
you
I
don't
don't want
wanna
to
see
see
it.
it.
So
But see, that's
None
why
of that.
that's why my critiques on her be some bona fide shit, and she don't want to hear that
So
shit.
the real question the internet is probably asking is, do you have a sister or sisters?
I,
I like the
Hey, my nigga.
You don't have to. You don't have to answer that question.
I actually do have a twin sister.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But
That's
she
a little
is
weird to me.
she
Okay,
is
and
married
listen,
though.
and
She
I'll
is
end it with
married.
this. It's a little weird, and I got to throw some weird shit in the end. I
sure.
can't remember where I heard the shit from, right? Because I'm also with a twin myself,
Hey.
allegedly. No, I'm with the twin. I'm with the twin. So here's the thing: is that when they say about twins, right? Like, are you paternal,
We're fraternal.
fraternal?
Fraternal mean we from our father,
That is correct.
but that is also true.
Yes,
So.
fraternal. Yes, fraternal. She got what I was saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This
I'm a
is
DPS kid.
BTF juice.
Slow down.
Yes,
He was-
we are fraternal.
So here's
It was
the thing,
like, are you-
it's like I can't remember where I heard it from or who I heard it from, but it was funny because it was like, yo, if you have that and you come from that kind of twins, right? Like the one guy gets with you, it's like, yo, I've seen your pussy. So as the other guy that gets with you, your sister, they pretty much
Well,
seen your pussy
that
too.
argument would be invalid because my sister is not with a guy.
Well, and there it is, and this is how we get out. Singer.
So, I don't ask her wife any questions about her
Yes.
vagina. You
There
know,
it is.
Thank God you don't. Yeah.
that's none of my fucking business.
18. When you was starting up, I was like, this shit about to get good right here. Because he don't know what the fuck he asking.
You don't know where this is going, brother. You don't know.
No, I knew where it was going, but I knew the answer she was going to have for him.
Yeah, he's rubbing his hands up.
Listen,
Doing Birdman hands on you.
This is perfect. Listen, I love you guys.
Yeah, my
Thank
G.
you. Listen, man,
No, thank
Super
you.
MC Native. Listen,
Yeah.
this has been a pleasure, and this is exactly why Sherm, BTF Tom, who couldn't be here tonight, Freshly Made Music is in the building. Can Be Gallery is also in the building too, somewhere floating around. But we appreciate this exact same thing because it's people like yourselves whom we find that are super dope, that tell the real story, the struggles, the how you got there, and where you're at, right? Because we only see the filter, you know what I'm saying, on IG. We only see the fucking finished product, and you don't see what the struggles were up until this point. And I literally, seriously, want to thank you guys for taking time out your life.
Thank you.
What's that shit they say? You could have been anywhere else in the world,
Right.
but you're here with us.
And real
Yeah,
talk,
exactly.
you know, I'm
Exactly.
fine on Instagram, by the way. You know, like
Hey.
there's a lot of filters. You know,
Hey,
them
hey.
Instagram pictures be on point. I'm a
On
fucking
point.
model on
But
Instagram.
you want to know? But you want to know what some gangster shit though? I go to court tomorrow to fight for my son.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You got that. You
Yeah,
got
you
that.
got it.
By
Tomorrow.
the time the internet hit us, you'll have your son.
You'll have it,
It's
and you'll
all
be
good.
and you be uploading new shit.
And I can't wait to see him. Like I can't wait to see him and talk to him. Like I haven't seen him physically since March, like March 21st. Like I showed up to his school because he had like they had like this the school assembly that they was doing, and he was gonna be in it. So I showed up with my suit on, because I wanted to look nice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And this is and this was like March, February, January, December. So that was like November 30th. November 30th was the last day he was in my care.
2017.
Yep, 2017.
2017. So I had to go up to his school to have lunch with him all those months so I could see him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he had a school assembly on the 23rd, and I thought it was on the 21st. So I showed up to the school, to see him. And that's when they told me that I couldn't go up there and see him anymore because my baby's mother went up there and told him that I was like a threat to him. And then they took me off. They took me. Look, they took me off the emergency shit and all that.
Yeah,
old shit.
yep. The contact
But
list.
but at the end of the day, while she was in the midst of doing all this shit, they had to card her when she came up to the school because who comes up to the school for the kid all the time?
Sure.
Me. You understand that? So the ridiculousness of this.
Wow.
But
Well, listen, man, blessings to that situation. It's gonna
Yeah,
work
dog.
itself out.
Yeah.
Good people, man, and
Thank
love prevails over all. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you seriously for fucking with us. Internets, if you've enjoyed this, man, definitely make sure you go out and support. This has been a real ass episode. Happy to have new friends down in Studio One, and we're gonna continue to keep funky, fresh shit jumping off. Scumbag Sherm, we love you.
I love you too, T.
We love you.
I appreciate y'all coming down.
Yeah,
Coming
thanks.
kicking it with the real. It was a good
Thanks,
episode. I appreciate it.
And this is the Blue Tigers Video Show Internet. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
yeah.